Good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Mulder, and today I would like to talk about quantum computers, AI, and radionics. Okay, I'm going to kind of go into a little side project that I've been doing here that anybody can do this. It won't cost you anything. Get a free account from Chat GPT, and just let it do its job. And what I have going on, this little project that I have is a trading algorithm. I decided to see what would happen. So I get on my free Chat GPT account and I start going through the motions of having AI create an algorithm and start doing back testing, which in the trading world, back testing is basically when they have an algorithm and they look at something in the past, a transaction in the past on an exchange or stock market or whatever. Say it's a share of IBM stock, just for example, and you have all the parameters of the liquidity. What is what's the value of the company at that time? What is the emotions of the general public or the investors? Are they in a greed mode? Are they in a fear mode? And all these little factors, both human and monetary or physical, uh, all come into play with the value of that share of stock. Well, here is the thing. When you go back testing, you take all these parameters or all these data points into consideration, and you come up with a prediction of what that stock is going to be at that particular time because of all of these different variables. Well, so you have AI, you have the trading algorithm go through all this, and it will make a prediction of whether that stock will go up or go down, and if it does go up or go down, by how much. But is it a dollar, $2, whatever? So with that said, it makes a prediction, and then it goes back and sees what actually happens or what actually happened at that particular time. And if it's close, it will, if it's like within a reasonable percentage of being accurate, it'll put it down as a win. If it's way off, then it'll put it down as a loss, but it will also come into play. It will self learn. It will go through, okay, what did I make a mistake here on? What needs to be changed in my algorithm in order to make this prediction even more accurate the next time? And it'll go back and forth doing this over and over and over again, and it will self-learn. And as to like when you have certain variables, the odds of this stock or this cryptocurrency, whatever it may be, will go up or go down in value depending on those variables. And so, once it has this thing perfected and it gets it fairly accurate, then it's off to the races. You're able to make predictions on certain things in the market and use this algorithm to make these predictions for you and even do the trades for you automatically. Um, and so that's kind of what I was working on with this AI produced algorithm. And the little twist on it is I have the thing, this AI is creating this algorithm, but it's working in conjunction with a quantum computer. In this particular instance, it's chosen resources from IBM. So it's working with the quantum computers that IBM has, and it's using them as a resource. Okay. And so it's interfacing with a quantum computer. I got AI automatically working in conjunction with a quantum computer, excuse me, with a quantum computer platform. And it's going back and forth and it's perfecting this algorithm in conjunction with a quantum computer. Now, why am I using a quantum computer? This is for the newbies. Well, here is the thing with the quantum computer. Um, we've gone through this several times on some of the shows here. And what this means is that when you're dealing with a quantum, time and space are irrelevant for the most part. It's irrelevant. Time and space is just something perceived by the observer. I mean, it's just something that we see or that we think that is real. And but in a quantum computer or in the quantum world, it's not real. It's irrelevant. It's just a side effect of the quantum. And so, with that said, what we're looking at is that this thing exploits different dimensions, different realities, whatever, to find an answer to a problem. And by merely observing, it's able to seek out these problems or seek out the solutions to these problems, and then it will give you an answer. And sometimes it's wrong, sometimes it's right, but apparently they're getting enough positive results for the current technology that it is worth investing billions and billions of dollars and God only knows how many man hours into the development of the quantum, the quantum computer. So, with that said, what happens is it's acting. It works as sort of a surrogate of the radionics device. It is observing reality. It is shaping reality by merely observing for you a certain target or a certain situation that you'd like to see come to pass. And it will work in the future, it will work in the past, it will work in the present in order to make this particular thing become a part of your physical reality. And this is so massive. This is beyond anything that I've seen in the radionic world. What we're taking here, again, by interfacing by interfacing artificial intelligence with a quantum computer and have it all being controlled by a radionics device. And that radionics device is being controlled by you. You are the captain. Ultimately, you are the captain of the ship. You're the one that says where it's going to go, what its destination is, and how it's going to do it. And you let AI, for example, in this scenario, do the heavy lifting for you. It'll make all the decisions for the future. Like say you're in a giant ship and a cargo ship, and you're in the Mediterranean Sea, and you want to safely travel to North America. Well, what AI will do is it will look at all the weather conditions. It will look at the currents in the ocean as it travels across the ocean. It will look at efficiencies of the fuel consumption, all many different variables here. The condition of the engines that are running the ship, and what have you. And it's taken all of this in consideration when it steers the course for you to North America. And so the whole idea is, yes, you've pressed the button here for it to take the ship from point A to point B. But what you're doing is you're letting outside forces, in this particular case, AI, calculate the best route, the most efficient way of executing this operation. And so, as it does this, it will constantly be making minor course changes, whatever it may be, in order to safely and efficiently get to your destination. Well, that's what AI is doing with radionics in this particular operation or this particular configuration that we're working on. AI is basically looking at all of the all the data points for this particular thing to take place in this reality. And as things progress, it will say, okay, is this taking me one step closer to my to fulfillment of my operation, or is it taking me back? Or is it steering me off course? And it will autocorrect. It will start making this, A, B, and C will have to happen in order for you to get to D. All right. And so it will make all these little minor changes automatically for you. It's sort of micromanaging, but here's the thing. I've always said it's bad to try to micromanage an operation. Just let it, take its course. But in this case, you have AI. Basically, yeah, it's micromanaging, but it's doing it far more efficiently and without the emotion that you would have with the care, with this operation. It takes the human factor out of the scenario of the actual operation itself, of the fulfillment or the manifestation of whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. And that is a very, very strong point here. Because what's going to happen next is it will start looking, it will start changing, it will start creating a better, a better way for this to happen for you. And because of this, it will manifest things faster. It will, by observing, it will change the physical reality. It will make things happen, make occurrences take place that will better make make your operation, manifest. And so when you bring quantum computers into this too, and we have AI working in conjunction with a quantum computer, what we're looking at, we're not really looking so much at the computer power of the quantum computer. We're not really um, taking, looking for it for answers. What we're looking for is the fact that it's quantum. We're taking the physics behind the computer itself into consideration to work or to piggyback off of that in order to help us manifest something. And with the quantum computer, again, am I sold on its reliability? Yeah, it'll come up with the correct answer for you. It may not be a correct answer for this dimension, but it will be a correct answer for another reality or another dimension. But it, but the thing about it is, it has, because of the way the thing is designed. And matter of fact, I'm going to kind of shift gears a little bit here and go into more detail about this. When they construct a quantum computer, they do everything they can to eliminate one thing, and that is human consciousness from the computer itself, to shield it. 90% of the budget for building a quantum computer is to eliminate human consciousness from affecting it. In other words, they make it super cold, where it's absolute, try to get it as close to absolute zero as they can. Number two, it is shielded by Faraday cages and what have you. And a Faraday cage simply is a way of shielding something from electromagnetic energy, such as radio waves, static electricity, whatever it may be, electromagnetic pulse, whatever the case may be. It's there to shield all of that, all these outside forces, these electromagnetic forces from whatever it is, in this case, the quantum computer itself. All right, next thing they have that when they with these quantum computers, where they try to eliminate the human element, is even the technicians themselves, the ones that are handling the parts during the construction, they have to be in a special mental state where they cannot be emotional. They can't be happy. They can't be sad. They just have to be indifferent. It's kind of like Spock from Star Trek. There's no emotion here. It's just pure logic. And they try to get the technician in that stage, so that when, even by the very fact that he's handling these parts, or by interacting whatsoever, no matter how minutely, with the quantum computer, they try to take all of this out of the way, all this stuff out of the way, so that the human element will not influence the computer. When they get back, even down to the point of, say, the thing's constructed and they're ready to do an operation, they're ready for the quantum computer to start pursuing or start calculating a solution to the problem. When the operator himself, when he presses the start button for this operation, they have it on a variable timer. In other words, it could start in a few seconds from now, it could start a few minutes from now, it could start a few hours from now, whatever. It does, it's up to the variable timer for when this is going to happen. The reason why they do this is to take the consciousness of the operator. The very fact of the operator pressing that start button will affect, or can affect, or could affect the quantum computer. So they take that out of the scenario. So what you've got here is basically, with this quantum computer, you're creating a consciousness vacuum. All right. And in nature hates a vacuum. It's always trying to fill a vacuum. You can see this with numerous experiments, with gases, that kind of thing. Like you have a vacuum and you open up a cylinder with gas, and what will happen is that vacuum will be immediately filled by that gas, and it will try to equalize the pressure in both the vacuum and the container or the cylinder itself. And so, again, it's just it's sort of a bad example, but it is an example of nature trying to fill a vacuum. Well, with this, we have a consciousness vacuum. We're creating a consciousness vacuum, and that quantum computer has to fill that vacuum somehow, that consciousness gap, if for lack of better words. It has to fill it in some way, shape, or form. So what it does, it seeks out other realities, other dimensions to find a way to fill that consciousness vacuum. Because, ladies and gentlemen, here is the big secret about your reality. My reality, your reality, reality in general. Excuse me. If it wasn't for consciousness, it would not exist. Whether you believe in a creator or a God or the architect or whatever your belief system may be, um, when you when you have no consciousness, nothing exists. Matter of fact, why should it? There's no reason for it to. The reason why things exist, and this is shown by the double slit experiment, is by mere consciousness or observation. Matter, physical things will change when it is observed or measured. Physical things will react. It's the observer effect. And this is what's going on here with these computers. With AI and quantum computers, we're creating an observer effect. And this observer effect is working 24/7 with the caveat of fine tuning the outcome of its operation. And so you have that going on, and then you have tied in with radionics, which is your vehicle of projecting your your consciousness, your will, your intent into this system. All right. So what you're doing is you're radionically you're projecting for a certain outcome for and using AI and quantum computers as a resource to piggyback off of them to manifest your operation, your goal. And you take all of this stuff and you tie it in together. The radionics is influencing AI. In return, AI is influencing the quantum computer. Or you can bypass AI and go directly into the quantum computer and project your intent of what it is you're trying to accomplish and your reality. And I'm going to emphasize your reality because everybody has a different reality, by the way. So when you influence your reality with a quantum computer, here's what it's doing. You have this vacuum, and yes, it's seeking consciousness of some way, shape, or form. And so you project your consciousness into that computer, into that quantum computer, and that quantum computer will act upon this. It will start working in your reality. It will start working with you to make things happen that normally would not happen. It is your observer. It will be going to other resources from other dimensions, other realities, and taking something from column A, something from column B, whatever it may be, and bringing it back to your reality and implementing it by mere observation and measurement to make things happen. And you have AI basically kind of being the moderator, the interface with the quantum computer to keep it on track, and also to give the operator feedback on what the hell's going on, because it's the AI is acting as a monitor in this particular configuration. It is your little television screen into what the hell's happening with your radionics operation. And hopefully I've given you enough insight as to why these things work. I'm probably going to do another show here when the mood strikes me to kind of go into this further. But uh, this is where this is all going. And as of right now, I am working, I'm going to include a link to the Chat GPT uh, operation that I'm performing right now. I'm going to include this in the description where anybody with a free Chat GPT account can go in there, click on it, and it'll bring you all this up. And you will see me interacting with AI and asking AI to interact with a quantum computer, and then it starts doing all of this. It starts tapping into whatever resources it has available, and to formulate, working in conjunction with a quantum computer to formulate a trading algorithm. And again, um, ultimately, if this thing works, will it make a lot of money? Hell yeah, it'll make a lot of money. If this thing is one, say it's 51% accurate, you're making money. If it's 52%, you're making money. If it's like 80 to 90% accurate, you're a freaking billionaire. And so that is what I'm looking at on this thing, just as this little side project. And it's interesting to watch the capabilities of these things. And again, I'm using free Chat GPT, which I know that I'm probably on the low end of the resource scale. It's allotting, limited resources to me for this to happen, but it's still happening just the same. And if I was to have somebody like Dr. Drachenblut working directly with AI, and to communicate with a quantum computer, this thing would be a lot faster. It would be a lot more efficient because of the human factor, because of the experiences that Dr. Drachenblut brings to the table on this. So I'm just giving you an example. And coincidentally, he just started his professorship in artificial intelligence, and I just hey, congratulations, Dr. Drachenblut. I know you've worked your ass off, with your education to be where you're at today. And once again, congratulations on your new professorship, and continued blessings and best wishes. But yeah, this is where this thing is going. This is where this thing is going to end up. This is beyond anything that anybody's ever done. This is beyond what Charles Casamano, aka Uncle Chucky, ever dreamed of. Is what we're accomplishing now. Is where we're taking this thing to the very next level. To the we're using technology, incorporating technology with radionics and all. And at the end of the day, what this is doing is this makes you more powerful and more sovereign. You have control over your destiny with radionics. You are the captain of your ship. You can do whatever the hell you want to. Hell, I see things happening all the time. Hell, I've been working on, and a little side note here. I've been trying to get this, I wanted a trading algorithm for crypto, and I've been working on this damn thing for years. Since shit, it's probably been April of 2023, I think is when I said to myself, I want this. And I've been down a lot of uh fruitless paths. I've dealt with people say, "Oh, I can build this," and they never did, or they always had something else to. They always had some excuse, and it was like one roadblock after another, after another, after another. Then, somebody was looking out for me, and then I started putting together a team with Dr. Drachenblut and a couple other people who are on the tech side, and we're all got our heads together and able to formulate a basic layout of how this thing needs to work. Hell, I even have feedback from AI on putting together this entire the protocols for making this thing work. Is it fully trusted? No, not particularly, but I do use it as a resource. There we go with resource. Use it as a resource to help give me better ideas or to put this thing together more efficiently than I normally would have. And it gives me different insights from its perspective. And so um, that's another part of this. That's another part of this. So hopefully I've given you enough things here. I didn't want to really complicate this little rant or uh this little uh talk here about this, but yeah, hopefully I was able to give you like in 25 words or less um a a general overview of what's happening with radionics and where it's going. And like I said, I think Uncle Chucky would he could only dream of having something like this. This is beyond anything anybody out there is doing. I mean, there may be people have done this before, but they just never made it public. And I'm willing to bet it was probably some kind of a government alphabet agency or agencies that have delved in this technology. I know that Hal Puthoff, he was involved in a lot of things like remote viewing, whatever, for the U.S. government, and doing a lot of R&D and what have you. And I know that he's probably touched on this very subject, or people like Hal Puthoff have probably worked on this particular thing. I've seen some pictures, I've heard some stories. Oh, a little fun fact here. When I first started doing this stuff, I had a gentleman from Australia, of all places, and he was formerly from the Soviet Union, and I guess he got out of out of Russia and was down in moved to Australia. This guy, he said they devoted an entire wing of a technical university in Moscow during the Cold War just on radionics and psionics. That's how serious the Russians were about this stuff. They were very serious. They were using psychic warfare all the time. This is, I think, it's one of the catalysts for the U.S. military getting involved in this. You've probably seen Men Who Stare at Goats with George Clooney. It was a fairly I would say a major film, but it was a decent film that came out I guess almost 10 years ago, and it was based upon what the military was doing. And according to Dr. Anderson, I think it's John Anderson, met him over in Las Vegas, and he said that that movie maybe about 10-20% of it was accurate, but it kind of gave you a general idea of what these people actually do. And it's pretty phenomenal. It's pretty phenomenal what uh, what our governments have been involved in, and I think this is something that kind of maybe uh, in that same neighborhood. I'm not sure, but the whole point of this is we're doing this. What I've done right now did not cost me a penny. It's just a matter of a few minutes of my time and logically planning this thing out and using AI as a way of making this particular thing become a part of my reality. So, well, hopefully, I didn't rant too much here and all this makes sense. And on that note, you have a great day. Bye.